So we've just graphed this parabola by hand in standard form. Let's go ahead and take a look at how the calculator can be used to do the same thing. So start by going into y equals and get your equation typed in there. So let's type in 2x squared minus 8x and then plus 6. And if I were to hit graph right away, I could see what it looks like. I see that it matches up to what we drew by hand. There it goes, very slowly. And so yeah, that looks like what we did, but let's go ahead and be a little more accurate with this. So the first thing I want to do is I actually want to find the vertex. Just like we found the vertex by hand, I want to find the vertex using the calculator first. So to do that, go into our trace menu. So hit second and trace again to calculate. And none of our features say vertex, but we do see min or max. And we've been talking about how the vertex represents either a minimum or a maximum value. So you do have to select the right one. So take a look at your parabola. And because it opens upwards, I can see that my vertex would represent a minimum value. So select option 3, minimum. And if it is a max, you have to select max. So they're going to ask you 3 questions down here. They'll say left bound, right bound, and guess. Basically, what that means is move your cursor so you're a little bit to the left of the vertex. Now, you don't have to get too close to it. Like, I probably wouldn't want to be there because I don't want to accidentally miss it. So just move somewhere to the left of it. I can see that over there my vertex is or my cursor is clearly to the left of the vertex. So press enter. It'll ask you then for the right bound. So again, move your cursor so you're a little bit to the right. Don't get too close, you might miss it. So be a little bit to the right and press enter. You should have seen these 2 triangles pop up. They should be facing each other with the vertex trapped in between them. If they're facing away from each other, then you've done it backwards. So go back and fix that. For guess, just hit enter a 3rd time. And your minimum value will pop up. Now, some of you may have gotten different values down here. Some of you may have got x equals exactly 2 and y is negative 2, which is our vertex. Some of you, like me, may have got 2 with all those zeros. Some of you may have gotten 1.99. Your calculator, for whatever reason, just can't quite get to that value itself, depending on where you put your bounds. So if you ever see all the zeros or all the 9s, go ahead and round appropriately to 2. Or whatever the number might be. Now be careful, don't always round. Like your vertex could be a decimal. If it's 2.5, then it's 2.5. But if you see all the zeros or all the 9s, make sure you round. So there's my vertex, which we have now found using the calculator. Finally then, to get all these points, if you don't want to do them by hand, let's just use the table feature of our calculator. So hit second, graph to find your table. And you could find all, wow, I started in 58. Let's change that. If that happens to you, go to second window. It's your table set feature. And let's change. It says, what do you want your table to start at? Let's start from 0. It's a little bit easier for us to work with. And then that's what you want the table to skip by. We want to skip by 1s. You shouldn't have to do that, but for some reason, mine was very, very different. Now go back to your table. And you should see your table of values. So there's the points that we found, 0, 6, 1, 0. We found those by hand. And you can see they're symmetrical about that vertex at negative 2, 2. And you can kind of scroll through this and find any points you want. I wouldn't pick these values. They'd be way off your graph. So try to pick points that are convenient to graph. But there's a bunch of points you can use to make your parabola.